Hello. If you are watching this, you are probably a robotics kid. That means you maybe go outside. So today, I'll be showing you an easy method to see all of the hours you spend on any Onshape document, which means this is useful for anybody using Onshape, not just robotics kids. And we're going to create a Google Sheet like this in less than 2 minutes. You can see here we have a graph of all the hours people spend over time and a color associated with each name. You can see here that the guy in red has spent the second most hours on the document, and he's actually a freshman, so it's pretty cool that he's working on the robot this much. And I'm going to show you how to create this graph from Onshape. So we're going to open up any file, any Onshape file, and you will need the insert tool. So there's a link in the description for you to install it. So we're just going to open up the insert tool, and then find the document we want to see the hours for. So I'm just going to use my team's robot file. Right click on it, and then click Get Document Changes History. And then what's going on here is the insert tool is going through every change made on this document, or the robot file, not this test assembly that we're in. And it's grabbing each change and then assembling it into a CSV file, and it will download it when it's done. And this will take longer if you have multiple branches. Alright, so now that that's downloaded, we're going to go back to home, go to help/instructions, and then here are the instructions for creating the spreadsheet, but I'm just going to click on the link, and this prompts you to copy it. So we're going to make a copy of this. And now we can click on the Data tab, click File, Import, go to Upload, Browse, and then select the CSV file that was just downloaded. And on this import menu, we're going to click Replace Current Sheet, and then Import Data. So now we can go to the Display section, wait for it to load, and then we'll see the graph and the pie chart with all of your data. This is probably around 10,000 changes, so it does take a few seconds to load up. You can see here that we have everybody's data, still loading. And the blue, that's me, so maybe I was working on it a little bit too much. And then I'm still just waiting for this to load. It's probably also since I have a whole bunch of stuff running on my computer. So we can see here that I have 17 hours in total on this document, and we do a little bit of statistics with it. I'm an outlier, so I don't go outside, according to the spreadsheet. I actually do go outside. So now I'm going to show you the controls to change this and what they mean. So the first one is the activity period. So I'm just going to show you a little graph. These little blue circles are the changes. So what the activity period is it saying how long between this first circle and this second one, or any circles, how long does it have to be for it to be not counted as consecutive? So let's say this is 3 minutes. So since the activity period is 2, then these will not be counted as consecutive. So we will not include any time from this first blue circle to the second one. And now let's say that the distance between the second one and the third one is 1 minute. So since that's less than the activity period, then we're going to count all of the time in between these two circles. And then the second control is the edge control. And this is the seconds that are counted before the first change in a consecutive string of changes. So for this, since this doesn't count for any time, and then this is the start of a new consecutive string of changes, we're going to look forward this much and then count that many seconds. And the idea behind this is that you're not instantly making a change as soon as you open the Onshape document, and you're spending some time before you make that change. However, if this is the end of the consecutive string of changes, there's no time counted afterwards. So you can change these, they're just in seconds, to better reflect how much time you think you're spending when you're not making changes and just looking at the document. And this next one is the time interval. So this is how many hours are in each interval. So right now it's set to a day, but we can change it to a week, which is 168 hours. Now we can see here how many hours you spend each week. And these are weeks from the start date, so they don't start on Sunday, which is why my data is split up a little bit. And then you can see all the hours people spend on here. That's the total amount, by the way. And then the percentages that each person spends. And then if you can modify this spreadsheet, so if you want to sync it with your team schedule to see how many hours people spend inside and outside of meetings, and then you can also see what time of day most hours people are spending the most hours modeling, or you can even see what part of the robot you spend the most time on, which is currently not supported by the insert tool, but I can easily add it. It's just information like this, which has the element name and then the action. So if you want to get that information too, then just message me and I can add it to the insert tool. And I think I spent over 12 hours working on this spreadsheet, so it should work fine, but if you have any questions or trouble with it, please email me. Feel free to share how many hours you spend on your robot and whether or not you go outside in the comments.